All right. Hello everyone, welcome back to Houseplant Basement, where we do my various houseplant chores in the comfort of my basement. Today, we're gonna go over some of my cuttings, really just repotting them. I think a couple of videos ago we took some cuttings of the Pale Puma. These have been in water for a while, and so we've got some pretty good root systems going. And then I took these Peperomia cuttings a while ago, and they have some pretty good root systems formed. So we're going to throw these in some soil as well. And that should be all that covers it today. So we're going to be putting the Peperomia in these two small pots, and then the Pale Pumas, we're going to put each of those, so each set in these bigger pots. So we'll do the Peperomia first. Let me grab the soil. Now I have my soil kept in a nice plastic tub. So we'll go ahead and fill these two small pots up with a little bit of soil. Just enough that the root system will be, I don't know, not at the bottom of the pot, but close enough that I can backfill the rest in with soil. So I don't know, maybe half full of soil. So we'll go this guy first. And actually what we'll do with him, I'm looking now and it looks like there's more roots than I initially thought. So we'll take some of the soil out of there, but yeah, you can see, right, so we've got some nice roots going. There's a secondary set of roots by this leaf, but I'll just pluck that leaf off, honestly. And you can see there's a nice new stem coming out of there. Looks like there's one starting to form right there. It's hard to tell right now, but, so we'll throw this guy in here. And then, let me actually just bring this soil up here. I lied. But yeah, so now we'll kind of backfill this in, make sure all the roots are covered, make sure it's sturdy in there, and then we will basically soak this in water to make sure it acclimates to soil well. We don't want to have it go from a completely wet environment to something that's dry or completely dry, you know what I mean? So we'll get the soil in here like so. That looks pretty good. Okay, there's that. That looks nice. Now we'll do the second one. And I think, yeah, similar thing to the other one. You can see we have two kind of root systems going off of there, but I think that should be all right. I think if we just kind of try and keep it close to the bottom of the pot, we should be all right. So we'll backfill this. And we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll soak it in water. We'll keep it a little more moist over the next couple days to a week so that it acclimates to the soil. And then as long as it is growing well, then we can scale back on our water and start watering it less frequently as it gets more acclimated to dry soil. So there's these two, our two peperomias. Like I said, I'm gonna water these pretty thoroughly before I take them upstairs and put them in their forever homes. That's pretty simple. One thing I like to do, I like to wait until the roots are pretty well formed. I think the rule of thumb I use is making sure that there's some secondary roots coming off of the main root, and we might be able to see it from one of these ones. So let's do one of these. Same kind of thing. Get some soil in here. Let's take these out and kind of see what we're working with. Okay. So we've got one, looks like it broke off. That's fine. We will get rid of that guy. But the rest of these, except for this one, which is actually forming a new stem, so I'm gonna throw it in there too. It looks like there's a couple roots. It's hard to tell. But you see there's some good roots there. You can see the main root and then a bunch of secondary roots off of there on that one. Same thing with these ones. So with these, we're just gonna arrange these in here nicely. Kind of around the edge of this pot. We'll throw this one in after. All right, just kind of like that. Let's get a little soil in here. Then we'll throw this shorter one in there. And then same kind of thing. We're gonna douse this in water, soak it, make sure it acclimates well to its new environment, new habitat, dry soil. And so we'll douse it. We'll keep it moist for a couple days, maybe a week. We'll see how well it does. And then we'll start to stamp back its water. But these I have found to be incredibly resilient. So I'm not too worried about these Pale Pumas. Basically, anytime I take a cutting and repot it, they bounce back incredibly quick. So there's the first one. Looks kind of doo-doo right now, but eventually what we'll do, and actually I might do that. So we have one, two, here, let's take these out and see how many we have. What I will probably do is next time I take a cutting, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do all those in one. Next time I take a cutting, I might throw that in the middle there, or just kind of see how this grows. We'll see. But yeah, so there's one, and let's do our second one. All right, fill that a little deeper with soil, and let's get these out of here nice and easy. Nice and easy. Try not to have any of the roots come off, which I think will happen regardless. Not the end of the world. I guess we only have 4. That's all right. All right, so only one root came off. That's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these suckers in here. Yeah, we'll throw you in just like that. Kind of get these stems kind of deep in there so they form some deep roots and so that they're stable. So we'll start there. Let's pluck off a couple of these leaves. Okay, we'll backfill it a little bit. Okay, and there's that. And what I might do, yeah, I'll do this. So, I'm gonna take the water that these suckers were sitting in. If this decides to cooperate with me, which does not look like it is. Oh. It's fine. I'll take care of it later. Regardless, what I'm gonna do after this is, again, soak these in water, make sure they have a really good drink so that these roots can get established in the soil, and then we will put them where they're going to be living, somewhere upstairs. Haven't decided yet. Probably in front of a nice bright window so they can get established in a room that has pretty good light and stays pretty warm year round. So with that, I appreciate everyone sticking around, watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. We will continue to film my houseplant chores. I think next we're going to be looking at repotting a croton that I have. And we'll kind of assess some of the other things that we've been looking at. There's a couple other plants that I want to look at repotting, maybe my pothos. But yeah, stay tuned for that next video in the next week or two. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and I appreciate everyone stopping by. Thanks.